So I think some of the fun part about this podcast is it is primarily real estate based, but it's built on a foundation of family and faith. And what better than to tell the dynamic of family from a firsthand perspective.
Yeah.
We are, both in relationships that go beyond just real estate. That's a portion of what we do, but we also have kids that are growing up and we're trying to figure out that dynamic. Anybody who says that they have it all together and know how to raise children is lying because it is a daily guessing game in a lot of ways.
For sure. Welcome to Courageous Stewards, the podcast where legacy meets leadership.
We believe stewardship isn't just about managing resources. It's about multiplying impact, honoring purpose, and building with eternity in mind. Each week, we dive into business-focused discussions on real estate investing on a foundation of faith and family.
We have a desire to inspire listeners with a heart to reclaim their time, talents, and treasures for something greater. Whether you're growing your portfolio, leading a business, or a family, we need to become the best version of ourselves.
This is your space to gain wisdom, walk in courage, and steward what matters most.
Let's build what lasts. Let's lead with love.
Let's become courageous stewards.
All right, welcome back, listeners. We're here with another episode. This one's going to be a fun one. We've actually got some super special guests today. I know Jake feels the same because these are our wives. So this is my wife, Corinne, and this is Jake's wife, Tina. We're just going to share a little bit about our stories, what it's like to be married to somebody that's in business or changed career all of a sudden, and how that is, and talk a little bit about our stories. And then we're going to dive into a really fun, would you rather section where we're just going to be kicking questions around the table here in regards to real estate, life, and parenting, and just decisions and feelings on certain topics. So it should be a really fun one. So we're going to just have Jake and Tina just tell us a little bit about married life and some of their story.
So I think some of the fun part about this podcast is it is primarily real estate based, but it's built on a foundation of family and faith. And what better than to tell the dynamic of family from a firsthand perspective.
Yeah.
We are, both in relationships that go beyond just real estate. That's a portion of what we do, but we also have kids that are growing up and we're trying to figure out that dynamic. Anybody who says that they have it all together and know how to raise children is lying because it is a daily guessing game in a lot of ways.
For sure.
And so Tina and I have been married for almost 21 years. We will be, May 14th is our 21st anniversary.
Yep.
Amazing.
And it feels like just yesterday. It's funny how you look back and you go, there's no way that 21 years have passed.
Yeah.
We feel a lot the same, other than feeling older, I suppose, but the way that we did then, not a lot has changed. We've gone through a lot of experiences, but when you look back at everything, it's just like, I don't know, it seems like just yesterday.
20 years?
Yeah, how can it possibly be 20 years? It's weird. So do you want to kind of okay, I was going to throw it to her and say, this is how we met.
We have different
But we have different stories on how we met.
That's interesting.
And she doesn't remember it correctly. And so I'm going to let her tell her story and then I'll correct it. So go ahead.
Okay, I remember meeting at church youth group. It was Family Christian Center. And we had a mutual friend, and then he introduced us at a youth group service.
Wrong. We actually met.
Sounds very believable, though.
It is.
Thank you.
And we had many occasions where we did connect at that youth group. So I'm 2 years older, just slightly under 2 years older than Tina is. So by the time we had met, what would be 17 and 15, I think?
Yeah.
So I was getting pretty close to getting out of school. So I was kind of on the back end of our youth group, one of the older kids, I guess, and leading into kind of a leadership role in the youth. Regardless of all of that, we ended up actually meeting, the part that she doesn't remember, the parade that they have locally here for, what holiday is it? I always forget.
Was it Labor Day?
Labor Day.
Oakwood?
That's it. Yes. The Labor Day parade in Oakwood. And it's one that my family has been involved in or attended since I was a little kid. And so I was with that same friend that she remembers introducing us at church, and we were walking down the sidewalk, and her and another friend were coming the other direction. I didn't know who they were, but my friend knew who they were. And so we stopped and talked there for a short period of time, and it was basically just, this is my friend Jake, and this is Tina, and oh, hello, hey, how's it going? See ya. Like, it was pretty much that quick.
Had you talked in youth group before together or not?
No.
Okay.
I did not know who
There's
it was.
a difference in what she's considering Matt versus you are.
Yeah.
She was
I
like,
just don't remember that encounter.
Yeah, it was just an encounter. No more than that. Yeah. It wasn't like we met, we talked, we figured out that we were interested in each other. Nothing like that. It was just, that's my first memory of seeing her, being introduced, talking for a very brief moment, and then we went our separate ways. So I suppose both of them could be true. They probably are.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, though, because there's plenty of times where, like, I'll go meet someone and talk to them and be like, oh, it was so nice to meet you. And they'd be like, we met before.
Yeah,
This is just the first real interaction that we've had. So, like, I give Tina credit on this one.
That's probably more true. But I remember that first encounter. She does not. I was not that memorable, apparently.
"Aw,
Every time we tell this story, she's like, yeah, I don't remember you.
I don't.
Anyhow, fast forward, we dated for a couple of years, and we ended up getting engaged on Christmas Day of 2020 or 2004 because we got married.
Yeah.
We got engaged on Christmas Day of 2004. We got married May 14th of 2005 after dating for a couple of years. So when we got engaged, she turned 18 in August. We got engaged in December and then got married the following May. She was 18, I was 20. So we've been married for 21 years, roughly. I proposed to her with a caveat that was, if you say yes, I'm moving to Arizona. So you need to understand that. We are moving to Arizona because my intention was to live in Arizona forever. I didn't know how life was going to go.
His family had moved out there.
Yeah, what 18-year-old does, really.
Yeah, right.
Your plans are what they are until they're not anymore, which kind of reminds me of that Mike Tyson quote. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Punched in the face.
Yeah, and then it's like, who knows, which has happened to us throughout our marriage several times.
yeah.
We've gotten punched in the face, and we've had to pivot.
Yeah.
So we bought a property that we remodeled. We lived in, which is the property that I proposed to her on Christmas morning in. We sold it. We moved to Arizona, lived out there for 4.5 years. She was very homesick, ready to come home and be closer to her family and parents and that sort of thing. And so we had gone through such a difficult situation out there with business partners and stuff. And so it was what we felt like the right time to come back. Why don't you tell them from that point on how things kind of have progressed?
We moved back and had like nowhere to live and no jobs. And so we basically just started over from scratch. We lived temporarily in my parents' garage and then found jobs, found a place to rent. But as soon as we were back, I found out I was pregnant with Levi. So that was crazy. 'Cause we're
Pretty
like,
sure that happened on the trip back.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so then it was just, life got real fast.
Yeah.
Like we got to figure this out because we have no place to live, no jobs, and a baby on the way. So
That was 6 years in. We waited 6 years to
yeah.
have kids.
so then
We just started progressing really
it was just
through life.
one step at a time. Got jobs, got a rental, and
Ironically,
yeah,
we now own that rental.
yeah,
We moved out of the garage
That's cool.
yeah.
into
one in
a
Ayersville.
duplex in Ayersville.
Yeah.
And lived there for a couple years. We brought Levi home to that duplex. And then we moved up into a single family house. And at that time, it was just the grind. Real estate was not an option. We
Yeah.
were still trying to figure out life and make enough money to make ends meet and just pay the bills and grow a family. And so then we had baby number 2, Lillian. We brought her home to that new single family house. And I remember every day I would, maybe not every day, but very frequently, I would be out in the front yard or out on the front porch, and I would look across at the apartments that were right across the road. And there are a total of 16. I didn't know how many there were at the time, but it was an apartment complex, small apartment complex. And I used to think someday I'd love to own those. And now we do.
Cool.
We own them all, which is an incredible story that we're thrilled about. We spent a couple of years at that house. We ended up selling that and moving to the home that we're in now. and we've lived here. Well, we had a baby number 3 while we were still there. And
Yeah.
she was 9 months old, I believe, when we moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And so pretty much this is the memory that our girls have, is basically just being here, which we've really tried to create consistency in our home. With our kids, we want there to be that stabling, factor where they're rooted and grounded, and they're not constantly moving here, there, and everywhere.
So you keep the kids in stables?
We do.
Because that's where we put our
We do.
boys.
Feeders.
Too.
We put feeders on their ears, and they
like
love
the
it.
stable. Yeah,
They,
we
well,
love
they tell
stable.
us they love it.
You got to stable the kids sometimes.
That's right. We've tried to do that in our church. We have tried to do that in our home, where we just create a level of
Consistency as much as we can.
That's
as
good.
much as we can.
And kids value that.
They
value
do.
structure and system, and
I don't think they realize
Yeah,
it.
they
don't
don't.
realize
They don't know because they'll buck it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you get them going and get it rolling, it's like they actually like that.
Right.
Life is chaos without a little bit of structure, at least.
Right. We don't have some, super dynamic story or a way to say, we've had all these problems and we hit rock bottom and we figured out we were on the verge of divorce, and we've had our disagreements and stuff,
Sure.
but we've never really had to deal with things to that extreme like a lot of people do, and we're blessed in that way.
Yeah.
I think we can credit that a lot to Tina's personality, which we'll talk about at the end a little bit more, but she just has this level of patience and grace, calm in the midst of a storm.
Yeah.
I tend to bring the
Yeah,
storm.
We'll figure it out.
That's truly, that's kind of how our relationship goes, is I bring the storm and she's like, yeah, we
Everybody
got
calm
this.
down.
Calm down a little bit. We'll figure this out.
That's good.
And we always do.
Yeah,
and I'm
always
like,
do.
but what if this happens? But what if it doesn't?
Yeah.
It's okay. So I came from a home where my parents have been together for a very, very long time, and they had their disagreements and stuff, but they've been married for 50 years. So I saw that dynamic, and that's what I wanted for my own. Then on the opposite side, she has that personality where she's just supportive, understanding, we're going to figure this out. I would credit her with more of the everything is figure outable phrase, because she's just calm enough to say, right now it's a problem or a frustration, but give it time. It'll figure itself out. We'll be
good.
all right. We just keep moving forward. So that's kind of been our relationship, and it's been a stabilizer among all of the moving parts when you're in real estate and you have a business mind and you're an entrepreneur and you're bouncing here, there, and everywhere, and then you have this kind of stabilizing, consistent confidence in a spouse that's just we've got this. I can't tell you how many times I've texted her and said, hey, I just bought another 6 units. I just bought another 10 units. And she's like, oh, okay,
Good to know.
cool.
I know, right?
And it's typically not more than that. There's never a panic. There's never a, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
We
there's
can't
been
do that.
times where I haven't totally understood it. It's I don't get it the way that you get it, but okay.
Yeah.
And
we talk it through.
Yeah.
We make sure that you have at least enough of an understanding where you're like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
These are the basic numbers. This is what the future looks like if we own this. This is kind of the plan.
Yeah.
I'm on board. Let's go.
Yeah.
And that shows the amount of trust that you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, you've, I don't want to say proven yourself, but you've
I've
made
earned it.
You've made enough
Yeah.
good choices
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you go and do these things, and she doesn't have to freak out because you've shown that
Yeah.
they've turned out good.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, even the bad choices that I've made have not been so catastrophic that everything ends.
Right.
We've talked
Yeah.
about that. Sean and I, it's when you guys first started, you did your first one and you looked at Corinne and you're like, nothing's on fire. Everything's not falling apart.
Yeah.
We can do this. So even when
Yeah.
we went through those problems where we're everything seems awful right now, you just get through it and you look back and go, why were we so worried about that thing?
Yeah.
It's done, gone, we've moved on. And it's not a big deal.
I am glad that the Arizona stuff happened when it did, because that was within the first
4 years.
within the first 4 years that we were married.
Yeah.
We had some pretty significant, business just collapse and personal finance collapse. Basically, you just have to okay, we're starting over. But going through that before we had kids, before we dove into current careers and real estate, it kind of gave that early on example of, okay, well, when it goes south, you just start over.
Yeah, it shows you that it isn't.
Yeah.
Those moments aren't there. They're not going to break you. They're there to
Yeah.
make you into what you need to be.
Yeah.
So it's
really when that happened for us, we didn't have a whole lot to lose. I mean, we lost a lot, but it was like, it didn't feel like we were on the, brink of anything terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
In my mind anyway, it was just like, okay, it's us. We start over. We'll figure it out.
right. Exactly.
It was a realization that even everything that you lose, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's just stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we have each other, we have our plan and, the vision that we're going to continue to carry, which really is rooted in our relationship with Christ and then our relationship with each other. And everything else is just like, we're going to build this. And if it falls apart, we're going to build it again.
Yep. Start over.
We still have each other. And that's what we wanted and have always needed more so than the stuff. We have lots of stuff now. And I say regularly, I'm like, we don't need any more stuff.
Yeah.
Please don't buy any more stuff.
Yeah.
Don't give our kids any more stuff. We don't need any. We're
love that.
so
We're
blessed.
not attached to stuff though.
No,
we don't
we're not.
have things that feel like critical if we lost them. So
On the flip side of that, now we enjoy being able to give regularly, if possible, to others who may be in need in whatever situation. And that might not be stuff. Sometimes it's lending an ear. Sometimes it's
Right.
giving time. Sometimes it's giving service. But we enjoy being in a position now to reach back and pull somebody else up and help them out when they're struggling because we've been in the same position. So that's kind of our story. I want to hear your story.
Yeah.
So let's hear, how did you all meet and what's that look like for you guys?
You want to start?
No, I want to hear it from your point of view.
Oh my gosh.
and then go.
You guys met at different times?
Ours is, no, we did not.
Dang it. I'm the only one.
We talk about this a lot, being that we kind of believe God has a plan, but we look back a lot at our story. This is my second wife, so I was divorced, and the boys are her stepkids, but she definitely
they're bonus
considers
children.
Yeah.
Two,
Bonus.
right?
Yep.
2 boys.
And she definitely considers them her own and loves them that way, and it's just been incredible. But we met, so we're going on 5 years at Bard, basically. We were working together.
Okay.
So we met at work
It was 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Gosh, that goes fast. So
It really
married,
does.
married
Nothing
for going
compared
on
to your
5.
21 years, though.
Yeah.
That
We got a
feels
long
like-
way to go.
It feels so, it just goes by so
It
fast.
does, and it went fast. We met at a time when neither of us were actively looking, which was really cool. So I was still working on me. I had some initial relationships after my divorce where I was just trying to fill the void, and I wasn't ready to be for anybody. And so I came to that discovery, and so I started just being more involved at church, trying to draw closer to God and develop me. And I kind of was just trusting that, because I had looked already, and looking gets old after a while, and you're trying to figure it out. And I just knew it was like God's gonna put her in my path when it's time. And then she shows up at Bard, and we're just talking to each other, sharing core values, things that would matter to us. She would talk to me about some of her stuff going on, but I could listen, and it was like her heart was aligning with mine. And so I was very attracted to her. Physically, of course, but primarily early on, it was a heart connection. I'm like, that's the person I need to be around because you line up with the important stuff. Not worried about TV shows or hobbies that you do. Those are your things. But we've got to be aligned on children, faith, finances, the core things that really can drive division. And she was just speaking my language. And so we started there and got to know each other and just kind of got closer, and then went out. I think Cabin Fever was our first one.
We went to Cabin Fever, and then afterwards we went to a cemetery and walked around.
Yeah.
No way.
She loves cemetery walks. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
We actually
Yeah.
enjoy the
a lot-
same thing.
A lot of our
Yeah.
first dates
Yeah.
were walks in the cemetery.
Yeah.
There's just
A little
something about
morbid, but
It's also
that's true.
surprisingly peaceful.
it's peaceful, and
Yeah.
she always talks about it, and it does work. But we love walks because you're walking, you're engaged, you're not distracted, and you're thinking for some reason. When you sit on a couch, you can kind of slow down and just kind of unwind. When you're walking, and our conversations have been a lot of fun on our walks.
I have a working theory that when you're sitting, your brain functions differently compared to when you're actively moving.
Oh, I
and
would
when you're
agree.
actively moving, you've got stimulation going, and different conversation points come up that would never come up if you're just sitting and talking.
Yeah.
So next
Yeah.
podcast, we're going to have like a walking podcast.
There we go.
Okay, so
Lapels.
yes, a row
We're
of
gonna do the
treadmills,
lapels again.
and we'll just walk on the treadmills.
In place treadmills.
Let's go. We need to get some
love it.
exercise
I love
going.
it. We're going to make this happen.
That's hilarious.
With the
Okay.
hydration straws.
We just wrote it, guys. We just wrote our next episode. Stay tuned. You're not going
That's
to
a
want to
whole
miss.
podcast
You're
right
not.
there.
You're not going to want to miss that one.
Yeah,
So we
That's awesome.
we started dating and stuff, and it was growing, and we continued to share things and just kept getting closer. So we of course got married, and she's just been. I just want to get to where like the impact she's had in my life, because she's so close to God. It's crazy. And so I was very much in my journey, in my walk, but it's been incredible having someone like her spiritually in the house for both my boys. She was the reason we have a small group at home. That's a family small group on Tuesday nights. So it's my wife and I and my two boys, and we just sit at the table. It's each person picks a topic, 2 verses, we share, we pray, and we're done. It's very short, but it gives everybody a chance to lead the group. And it's been incredible, and you do those enough. Like we talked about the structure and stuff. They start asking why we haven't done it yet today on Tuesday, and then you go,
Yeah.
yep, you're right. It's But it has been such an impact on the boys.
It's so exciting to see like they're going through their own personal like struggles, pain points, and everything else, and then the Bible study gives them an opportunity to go to the Word and seek guidance and revelation and wisdom in like, what does the Bible say about my situation?
Yeah.
And like it's such a great like foundational trait to learn, to just like, okay, like I'm struggling with this, I'm leading Bible study today. Well, I'm already going through this. Why don't I see like how the Word applies to my
it's an amazing
situation?
habit to have.
It's so amazing. And there's been plenty of times where like they'll go through something and I'll be sitting back like, oh, I needed to hear that too. It just like, I had no idea I had to hear it, but like, thank you for the message.
It is cool when those happen.
Yeah. That's cool.
The group just kind of speaks to you, and it was their study material. And then Brett, I remember one of his early ones, he was big on Skillet, the band Skillet. And we gave him that freedom to come up with his own group. Well, he had actually pulled a song from Skillet called Anchor, and there's scripture about letting him be and Brett ran this Bible study on Skillet. That song, played that song, and then explained the verses from scripture of that song. And it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
We're just blessed in so many ways because our story's a little different, and these can get messy. The step parenting, the co-parenting, these roles, but we have such an outstanding system with their mom and even her boyfriend. Like we all parent together collectively well, and it's just, you can see God in it, and if you can't, then you're blind, because being able to talk, work together, communicate, work back and forth with the boys, and just all have the same heart for these kids and to communicate the way we get to, it's incredible.
Yeah, I've seen that firsthand when you and I are working on some other project and you have to take a call right away, and it's their mom, your ex, and you guys are still able to have a close conversation about the boy or whatever it is that is happening at that particular time, and you come to a resolution collectively. You handle this, I'll handle this. This is how we can agree to move forward, and you get off the phone. And I just think there's a lot of families that are splintered and don't have that dynamic where parents are agreeable.
I honor her. I send her texts sometimes. I just appreciate you as the co-parent, as their mom, because it's incredible. The mom she is. It is really amazing.
Yeah.
Just to have that dynamic.
And it makes it a lot easier for me too, stepping into that. Like I don't have to walk on eggshells every single time like she comes into the picture. It's like, and I'm so thankful for like really the foundation that you laid on that. Because
took a minute.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I came in after the fact. Like, oh, you already did all the work. Here I come.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I had cousins who came from a split family, and I've heard all sorts of stories that they went through, and I'm just thank God that I'm sitting in the position I'm in now, that I don't have to deal with those things, that our boys don't have to deal with those things. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
We started dating, and what I loved was and even we still don't today, is don't take each other too seriously. Don't put all the pressure on yourself. It's okay to be weird. Like you would come over to our house and spend an evening with us and watch us have some of these weird moments and go, how does she have the position she does at her job? And how is he and then how is this other clown running a business? That's how you do it. Some of the things we do, and it's just, but it's fun, letting the guard down a little bit.
I think part of that is because like when we first met each other, neither of us were in a position to date. So like we didn't take each other seriously from the beginning. Like we weren't trying to like puff our feathers and show off and be like, hey,
there's no agenda at that point.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So like we were able to just be real with each other without an ulterior agenda or motive. Yeah. And because of that, like it's just continued to carry on.
Yeah. That's a great point, because we were able to connect from a core value and a heart standpoint, be friends, just be absolute, just friends. And then it was like, okay, sorry, I'm falling in love with you now. and then it worked. She settled, and I get the privilege of sitting here with this beautiful angel that God entrusted to me, and I just can't describe it. When I wake up each day going, I can't believe I have all I have and how God provides, she's number one. Like she's number two after God, but she's one at the top of my list of like, man, I have more than I need because I don't deserve it, but
yeah.
It's good. And she's an incredible woman to be married to, because there's, like you guys were talking about, there's a level of trust and honor and respect in my household that I know is there because of my relationship with Christ and my following his leadership first. But it really is just nice to have at the house when we are making big decisions. She goes, I trust you. Yeah. Even to the point where if it's the right call for the business, she'll put herself in uncomfortable situations to go through it because she understands this is right and I trust you. And it's like, wow. So it's good. And
I also call them out sometimes. So.
Oh yeah. She's saved me. We'll talk about that later too. But yeah, she has saved us, redirected us, and has truth and grace comes to mind when we talk to each other, and she gives me that guidance sometimes and that love. But it's good. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I do want to back up a little bit and fill in a couple of pieces of my side of the story.
Okay.
When we first met and everything. So when I first started working at Bard and I got to know like the engineering team, there were two people that I was like, they have fortunate looking faces. Like, this is nice. Like, maybe I should get to know them. So I got to know each one of them, and like one person, he was very charming, but I could tell very quickly that he had ulterior motives and he was more self-centered. I feel like I can read people pretty well, and it's like I kind of got the vibe of like, he's not here for my sake. He's here for his own personal agenda. And then with Sean, I got to know him, and the more I got to know him, I'm like, he has a gentle spirit. He's very caring. Like, I mean, he's ridiculous, but like
I am a little bit much. Jake knows that though.
Yeah, but like it was very clear that like he didn't have like that ulterior agenda. And then like we talked about like our values, our morals, and I was just drawn to him and just his character that he had. And like I was in another relationship at the time, so I was like, I appreciate you as a friend, but I value you as a friend too, because like so many of our values line up. And there was one day he was walking down the hallway and he was like, Brett just prayed that I get a girlfriend.
He did.
And it was so funny. And in that moment, like the Holy Spirit was like, that's going to be you. And I was like, I'm in another relationship right now. This is not okay.
Yeah.
Like, Satan,
let me
get
make
out
a
of
phone
here.
call.
Yeah. So, but then, like, I mean, obviously, like that relationship fell through, and like, I'm just very thankful that God ended that, like, closed that door, ended that relationship, because then I was able to get into something that was so much more genuine and pure and good.
What was the time gap there?
Between
when he walked down the hall and said, Brett just prayed that I should get a girlfriend.
Not long, it was short
like,
enough to be a miracle.
Yeah.
Okay. My son just prayed in the car.
It was God's timing.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I think it was just like a couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah, like 3-4 months.
Yeah, it was
something
close.
like that. Yeah.
How long did you guys date before you got married?
3 years, right? Because if we've been together,
I think it was 4. We were dating for 3, and then we were engaged for a year. So I think it was 4 years.
Wow. So you have actually been married for 3 years?
No, we'll be on our 5th year.
5th year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you probably already said that and I just missed it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, hopefully when we rewind this and all the numbers match up. But
Wait a minute, I said that one totally wrong. That's funny.
That was a good adder, though.
Yeah.
Because, Brett prayed, and I told Brett, I was like, you prayed for her. And then she came, and it was awesome.
You need to remind him of that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of times.
Have you?
Yeah, there was you know how like the church has when you go through the connect track and like you're writing down like your values and like things that you're good at and things that you just see God moving in. One of the questions was my prayers get answered often. And Brett and I were taking that quiz together and he's like, I don't feel like my prayers are answered often. And I'm like, are you serious? Like you prayed for me and I'm here
because
now.
of you.
Like literally I am an answer to your prayers.
Yeah. That's cool. You never know those 1 or 2 things that you do throughout your entire life. You will probably never know the impact that they have.
Yeah.
That one prayer impacted you all's life forever.
Yeah.
Until you're gone.
Yeah.
And you just don't even know it.
Nope.
And subsequent generations.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing.
thought that recently. That's been something that's come back to my mind. That just the simplest things. You don't know who you're going to walk by today, and maybe the one time you have an opportunity to do something, it just changes the course of history.
Yeah.
And you don't even know it, and you may never know it.
I have a great example of that. I was spending time with one of my friends. It's she lives up in Detroit, and so like every time we get together, it's like we just value and appreciate our time together. And I don't even remember what we were talking about, but she started talking about this YouTuber that she really liked, and she's like, "I'll just have to show you sometime." And I was like, "We have time now. Just show me now." And she pulled it up, and we watched it, and I didn't think anything of it. Months down the road, she came back to me and she's like, hey, that moment that you just took the time to be like, I value you and I value the things that you're interested in so much that I want to do them right now. It's like, that really impacted me because I realized that I was surrounding myself with people who didn't really care about me and the things that I cared about. And it really made me reevaluate like the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And I was like, that was just like a in the moment, like I didn't even, it meant nothing to me, but it meant everything to her.
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, like you never know like the sort of impact that you're going to make in someone else's life.
It was a big thing to do because you're showing them that you're making them a priority.
Yeah.
Even if in the moment you had other priorities. I was just telling Jake, I had a friend text me while I was out on a run. And he's like, can I call you? And my initial thing was, I'm on a run right now. I can't talk. But then I'm still running and I'm like, wait a minute. If my friend needs something, I need to talk. I said, if you need to call me, I'll call you right now. Because he needs to know, like, I'll make time. Yes, I'm running, but it's not more important if you have an emergency. So that's awesome.
It just came to me in a sentence that would kind of look like being willing to pause your time so that their time can continue. You know?
Yeah.
Looking at it from that perspective.
It's good.
Being willing to pause your time so that their time can continue.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of us who could at times throughout our day, our marriage, our relationships, pause our time so that the other person's time can continue. That's important. But yeah, Sean, why don't you?
Let's kick it off. You were going to say something else.
I finally remembered the other thing I wanted to
Oh,
ask.
let's hear it.
So like when Sean decided that he wanted to start the business, I remember at the time I was like, this is scary and it makes me very uncomfortable, but I never want to squash like my partner's dreams, like the people that I value, that I care about. Like I want to do everything I can to support them. So even though it makes me extremely uncomfortable and I don't like this, like I'm going to support it because like who am I to put a lid on someone else's hopes and dreams and goals and like God's plan for their life, really. And as we were like going through the business and it's growing, and he was like, 5 years. 5 years later, I'll go. And then it was like, well, like 2 years, maybe 2 years. Like things are going a lot quicker than I expected. It's like 3 months. It's like,
it still blows me away because we just laughed about it the other day. I quit my job the year I started the business. It was going to be a 5-year plan, a couple properties here and there as we go. and I quit my job in the first year I opened the business. That's crazy.
And it was
Yeah.
almost just you leaning into the calling that had
Yeah.
always been there, but being willing to then take action. At some point, you said, okay, I'm taking action. And the rest is history. It just explodes.
Yeah, I went all in. Once I had that resolve of it being a calling,
Yeah.
and having her support, because she told me, and the words still ring, is that I will go with you into success and I will go into failure with you also. And it was like, okay.
Yeah. When Sean was getting everything started, he was really like the Greatest Showman soundtrack was like that
was a
was
loop.
all that he
It was a
listened to. And like we all love the songs there, so we're all okay with it. But there was one song in particular, like every time it played, I'm like, that song's for me. This song is my part in this whole thing. And it was Walking a Tightrope. And like
Okay.
Yeah.
I highly recommend listening to it. But like the whole point of the song was like, no matter where you go, like no matter how risky it is, no matter like if we have to go all the way out to sea and we don't have the comfort and the safety of the dry land, like I will go where you go.
Yeah.
And whether we succeed or fail, I am by your side. I will walk that tightrope with you.
Yeah.
And like as we're going through this, I hear that song, I'm like, that's exactly how I feel. It's like whether he succeeds or fail, like I will be with you. If this completely crashes and burns, like I am by your side. I will fail with you.
That's good. It's good to know that. We'll have to talk more after the podcast.
Yeah, but then like also like when he actually quit his job, I was like, okay, like this is very uncomfortable and I have to reframe this in a way that I can like deal with this. And like we would joke around all the time like, you're the breadwinner now. It's like I'm the breadwinner. Like, yes. So like now it's kind of like a joke of like, I'm the breadwinner now. It's like, yeah, but like we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. I'm going to build this thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we had similar timing when Jake was ready to leave his job. My job at that point was looking kind of shaky because there was like this merger happening. And I was like, just let me see what my job ends up looking like. And then, you know, you can walk away from yours. But the more that we walked through, it was like, no, it's just got to happen now. And so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, just,
Yeah.
it'll work out.
Do it. Yep.
I tend to be the one that overanalyzes the situation and like, we're not ready yet. No, we're not ready yet. Which is weird because it's
It
kind
completely
of
depends on the thing.
Yeah, it depends on the
Yeah.
situation. Because I'm like, I'll go buy that thing. Heck yeah. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
have to think about it. I ran the numbers. They look good. Let's go.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
then when it comes to, maybe it's just because it was situation dependent, I guess,
Yeah.
in that if I quit my position where I'm at and then something happens with her, we're both at this point making 6-figure incomes and we're losing half of that now and then half of it in a few months potentially.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary.
It is.
But like you had a process that you were following. So it took the
did.
emotion out of it. Like in those points where like you're not going through analysis paralysis because like you already have a system and a process in place.
Yeah.
But like quitting your job to depend on this completely, like that's not part of a process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's heavy. There's emotion in that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I had almost 40 doors when I quit.
I think I quit at 11.
But I was still scared to death at 40 because we weren't taking any income off of the business at all. And so I'm looking at the business going, we're not making any money.
Yeah.
So I can't take anything from this. So I'm going to quit a 100,000 plus job and not be making any income off of this. Little did I know that when you look at the numbers for real, you're actually making money. It's just
there.
It's there. It's
there.
just you're not looking at it the same way.
We just leave it in the business too. But
Yeah.
it's good. We joke about it, but she's paying for my expensive hobby.
Yes.
And now she's not at her career
Honestly,
any
wanna
longer
walk away
either.
as well.
We're gonna get
Walk
there.
away and
We're gonna get there.
and makes no money in her current hobby,
Yeah, it's great.
which is awesome. We love it.
Highly recommend making no money.
But we've had that conversation
We're doing that
on
now.
several occasions where, you know, she felt the same way. Like, I have been the breadwinner for all of these number of years, or, you know, have contributed a portion of our income. And now I'm stepping back to not really in regard to the income side of
Right.
things, very much contributing
Totally.
in
More
a
than ever.
ton
The
of
other way
areas.
is just not financially. and
But yeah,
is a weird
that
thing
biweekly
to-
paycheck is
Yeah.
not coming in like
Yeah.
it was. And so we just have to look at it a different way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we've leaned into it and the Lord has blessed it. If there's one thing that I've learned watching my family, my parents, and the way that they led and the way that I grew up, it was we lived by faith, period. There's no, well, we're going to go work another job and I'm already making a ton of money. And it's like, my parents were in ministry. That's what they did. We were on the missions field. So we believed God to provide all of our needs, period. End of discussion. And he did every single time. So now I can look at that and go, well, if he did it for them, he can do it for me. I don't have to be so worried about every little thing because the Lord's going to take care of our situation. If we're faithful, we're doing our best to honor him in everything we do. We are living the stewardship that he's called us to live. As long as we're taking those steps and continue to move forward, he's going to honor that and we'll be taken care of.
For sure.
That's helped us to recognize that as long as we're moving forward consistently, hopefully strategically sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like, let's just keep moving and the Lord will, he'll show us what it is that we're supposed to do next.
Yeah.
And then other times we know exactly the next step and what it's supposed to look like.
That's
Just
good.
ebbs and flows.
Speaking of next steps,
Let's go.
let's ask some questions.
We wanted to do kind of a would you rather where we talk a little bit about like some fun questions that you can answer. Would you rather this or would you rather that?
Yeah.
And they don't all pertain to real estate. They don't all pertain to relationships. Some of them are just fun questions.
We're going to be kind of all over the place on these, but it's going to make for fun conversation. So we'll probably just ask it. Everybody can have a chance to just respond and answer and then share a little bit.
Let's go.
Let's do number one. Is everybody ready?
Ready.
I need all eyes right here. All eyes right here. Everybody ready?
Ready.
This looks like this is a ready group of people right here. I'm excited. This is a real estate question. Would you rather have a tenant who never pays on time but keeps the place spotless, or have a tenant that pays early but is calling you constantly with little issues and repairs? For me, I would rather have the tenant that never pays on time but keeps the place spotless, as long as, for me, it's within the 30 days of the month.
Yeah. It's almost like some of these questions, if you can edit the question,
Yep.
you can pick one or the other.
Yes.
But if you have to pick one or the other without editing it, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would agree, personally, dealing with tenants on a regular basis, I would much rather have a tenant who doesn't pay on time, but still pays within a certain parameter over one that I have to constantly deal with every little nitpick.
Yeah. It's a lot of energy
issue.
drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
How do you guys feel about
Anybody
that?
else?
I'd pick the spotless unit
I
because
wouldn't-
then there's late fees.
I was about to ask, like, if there are late fees that
Yeah.
are involved, then absolutely. Like,
I like it.
Actually, I heard somebody who said in their relationship, the wife wasn't nearly as on board with the husband purchasing rental properties and managing them and so forth. And so his agreement with her to kind of bring her on board was that any and every late fee that we collect goes to you. You can use it however you'd like to.
that's
It's
cool.
$50 and then $10 or
She's
whatever
in
you
there,
guys set
she's
up.
sitting there on their software block.
Right.
You
Nobody
were late
paid on time.
block. Everybody was late.
But it actually worked. It brought her on board, and
that's
so
funny.
she'd collect $300-$400 a
Yeah.
month in late fees from their portfolio, and
That's
she was
fair.
like all about it. So kind of
we,
fun.
we may need to reevaluate some things.
We can do anything to get you on
What
board.
did I
Let's
do?
do it.
That's
Why don't we
funny.
go to the next one?
Corinne, you're up.
Right. So this is vacation mode. Would you rather go on a luxury vacation paid for by a big win deal where the guys have to check emails daily, or a simple camping trip with zero cell service and no work talk allowed?
I could see myself answering either way. I think depending on maybe the season or
Yeah.
depending on my mood. I don't know. I think because like just the checking of emails is like not a big deal. Like it happens a lot, you know? And so it's just like that kind of feels like, okay, we roll with that all the time. I can roll with that on a luxury vacation. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm good with that. I also love the, no cell service, lose reception, gain perspective kind of mode. I love that
Yeah.
too. But
So which one?
oh, I know.
You just got to pick one hard, fast.
Current mood, I'd pick luxury vacation because I'm really itching to get away and go on a trip.
Yeah, I think we all
So,
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see her typically being more along the lines of the simple camping trip kind of person where she likes to get out in nature and go to national parks and visit new scenery and new places and stuff like that. So we do go on a luxury vacation, I suppose, occasionally, rare occasion.
Yeah, pretty rare. Yeah.
but more so we like our kids have seen half of the United States already, and my youngest is 10. So we tend to travel to new places to see new things and kind of get out in nature and stuff like that. So I feel very uncomfortable in luxury scenarios because I'm not luxury. I'm very simple for the most part. Like, so being put in a room with people who are wearing suits and stuff, like, that's just not me, really. I want to be more comfortable. And so for me, I think the simple camping trip with no cell, but I'm not a camper either.
Yeah, not a camper.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of that middle ground where we need to change the question a little bit.
It depends.
I'll pick one. Which is it? Simple camping.
Oh, simple camping trip
Perfect.
for me.
Simple camping
Yeah,
trip.
zero cell.
Yeah.
As long as I had somebody that I know was taking care of the properties.
Yeah.
'Cause I would be
Yeah.
I would be driving myself crazy the whole time. Like, are they answering all the questions that people are asking?
Yep.
The tenant's okay? Did somebody break a window? Are they locked out of their apartment?
Yeah.
There would be just like a constant, badgering in my ear.
Sure.
I think for me, the season I'm in right now, simple camping trip, 100%. And I think more often than not, I would choose that because like we're going and going and going and going, and having that time to just completely disconnect and relax and just get away from it is like a mental reset, and like it spurs the creativity that I need in order to solve a problem or like work towards a resolution somewhere else. Like a luxury vacation, I would absolutely love that, but in order for like my mental health, I think a simple camping trip would be better.
It's good.
What do you think?
I'll take luxury, and I like working. So when we've been to Myrtle Beach, I don't mind sitting, being on my laptop for a few minutes, checking on some stuff, moving some stuff around. I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so then when I can close that laptop and we go out and do stuff on the vacation, I'm more relaxed when we go out and do things. So for me, luxury vacation.
Yeah.
And like we've had plenty of vacations like that, and I love them, and they're great, and like I don't mind take a little bit of time, work on this, and then like being able to look out and see like a nice beach out there.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
For me, sometimes work and doing some of those is relaxing.
Yeah.
See, so that
Not
doesn't
when it's
really
on fire,
strike me as luxury vacation. I suppose it is, I guess. You go to Hawaii and you sit on the
right.
beach in
On
a
the beach.
hotel. That is a
All-inclusive
relaxing
resort,
vacation.
Yeah.
When I think luxury, I guess I was thinking of it wrong. Like, I'm surrounded by people who are like the
Nope, not
tippy top
necessarily.
of society. And
Just
that's
an
not,
all-inclusive resort, something, a beach. Just
that would be cool.
Just be comfortable. Have your laptop in the room there or something
Yeah.
you can peek at, and then
Okay.
go about your day.
I might
That's what
change.
I would do.
I might change now because like
Yeah.
when you
That makes
are
sense.
like the pockets that you would have to be like looking at emails and answering calls and stuff like they're like small little pockets here and there.
Yeah.
And like you do have, I mean, like at least in our experience, like we'll have moments where we can completely disconnect and spend quality time together.
Yeah.
So I might change my mind. I
Yeah.
might go for that luxury trip.
Because even big issues,
Yeah.
you can only do so much for, and you can't get it done that day anyways.
Yeah.
Like I was going to a Cleveland Browns game with a friend, and I'm driving to Cleveland to see my friend to go to this Browns game, and I got a call that my unit was on fire, and it was like, well, I'm going to Cleveland. Is everybody okay? Like I can't fix it. So
There's nothing I can do.
yeah, you just go on and you come back and you make sure everything's taken care of and get things fixed up. But all right.
Okay.
Next question.
Number 4.
The intuition test. Would you rather have the final say on which property the business buys next, or the final say on where the family goes for every holiday for the next 5 years?
Next property we buy. That's my answer.
100%.
That's it. Next.
100%.
I don't have anything else to say.
Holidays?
Oh, yeah.
Because on the flip side of that, I'm going to be the one who's saying this is the next property that we're buying. So you're like, nah, I don't have to worry about
I
that.
know, yeah.
I'm figuring out the vacation.
I feel like whatever answer I give determines how much I trust Sean.
I do both right now.
Yeah, I feel like I trust Sean pretty well to like make decisions and not completely burn everything to the ground. So I think I could do the 5-year
So
vacation.
too soon to the
But,
fire
like-
reference.
Not at all. I was over that on like week
Yeah.
1.
But there are times where he's like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, maybe think about this. And
yeah.
and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But like, I don't know. I like having that opinion or that input. So
You're my mic dropper. When you say something or just provide input, it always is good input. It's value add.
Yeah.
You're not just talking just to talk. And
right. And
You know.
I like to be involved in the very thing that we're trying to foster and grow. Can we
Which
do
is
it?
it?
Can we do it together?
Nope, which is it? Vacation or property?
I plead the fifth.
3.
Nope.
No, you got to pick one. We're not going to move on. Pick one.
But like, I don't really need the final say. I just want to have my input, and then I usually let you have the final say anyways. So, all right, we're going with the vacation.
There we go. All right, next question.
Brilliant. She talked herself right into that one. That's great. Next question. The unexpected guest. Would you rather have a tenant show up unannounced at your front door on a Saturday morning, or have to host a 3-hour business dinner for a potential investor with only 20 minutes notice?
Tenant, unexpected tenant. Just get off my property, go home. I'm going back to bed. Done. I'm not going to try to do a 3-hour business dinner and prepare in 20 minutes.
See, I feel, the preparation in 20 minutes would be the kicker.
Like, dude, I'll deal with your screen door tomorrow
We don't have
morning.
enough
Go
food
home.
in the house for that.
Yeah.
Yep, that's mine. Next.
How do you feel?
I think I'd rather have the tenant show up. I would not be as heartless as Sean. I'd probably like hear them out, hear what they have to say, but like depending on the situation, I might let them in and have coffee and talk to them for a little bit, or I might just be like, let's stand out in the front porch
Yep.
for a little bit and then send you on your way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I picked
Yeah.
the tenant showing up.
I think I would say, like, how did you find out where I live?
Well, that's easy.
Why? I know it is, but not
super easy.
most tenants don't know that, though. So if you found out where I live, I want to know why and how, and don't do that ever
Yep.
again.
This isn't an office. Go home.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about this tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be my preference as well, because I have an ability to turn things on and turn things off very quickly
gotta
on
switch
very
modes.
little notice, with very little preparation, and then I can turn it off and I feel exhausted afterwards. But I can do that.
Yep, you got to switch gears.
But I don't prefer it. And so I think for that reason, the whole 20-minute notice thing is the part that I'm like, I
can't do that.
I can't do that.
Be a train wreck.
Yeah, the tenant showing up unannounced would be
Easy.
Yeah.
pretty easy to handle at this point.
Sean would be like there's been times like my parents drive by our house on the way home all the time, and like every so often they'll be like, hey, like we got something, we just want to drop it off at your house on our way home, and I'll let Sean know, and he's like,
I don't like unexpected visits. I
short
don't feel
notice
like
thing.
I don't feel like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, no,
polite.
he
I don't
does
feel like
not.
that's considerate. So I
Yeah.
would be very easy for me to switch the gear.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in this Sean mode now. Get off my property and
yeah. So and they've definitely learned this. Like we're just gonna drop it off. Like we're not gonna stay very long, and like I appreciate it. So yeah.
yeah, that's very easy for me.
That's a lot. That's like the opposite of us. I feel like we are constantly in and out of, hey, just come on over whenever it's convenient for you. Just stop
if
in
I say
and whatever.
that,
Yeah.
if I say that, dude, you're in. You can
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
here. Stay the night. I don't care. There's the couch. Put on what you.
But just
Yeah.
don't show up.
It's-
don't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be like, I'm
Surprise
coming
you.
now to do something at your house. Like that for me, it's like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I think I just did that to you yesterday.
my time.
Sorry.
You did. You're loud.
You're in the
I mean,
end.
in my defense, you brought me a ton of cash to deposit in the bank.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm actually just getting ready to go on a run, but I guess I'll wait.
Yep. I guess I'll
Collect all
hold
the
on for a
money.
few minutes.
Yeah. You have thousands of dollars for me?
Yeah,
Fine.
I guess I'll hold for a minute.
Yeah. But that's normal for me. I'm just like, hey, I'm 10 minutes away. I'm around the corner. You mind if I swing by and drop this? I think a lot of people are in that mindset where it's just normalized to some degree. And the receiving end of that is like, no, I'm not prepared for you. It's not okay. Let's do this another
Well,
time.
and you're moving, so I know yours is going to be, you're here, bam, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
And then on to the next thing.
I would have been completely fine yesterday with you opening the door, me handing the envelopes and
Yep.
leaving, which didn't actually happen quite that way, but
No.
that's,
Can't not talk to you at least for a little bit.
I know it. Okay, next question.
Let's do it. Would you rather take a huge financial risk on a property that could fund your kid's college, or play it safe and know what's in your bank account for the next 20 years?
Didn't we do that already?
Did we ask that one?
No, she's saying you guys already.
We already like jumping.
Oh yeah,
into,
we rolled
jumping
that.
into
We
real
rolled that
estate.
dice. We spent thousands on properties. We didn't know if it was going to work. Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah.
Mine's
So-
easy. For me, it's going to be financial risk.
Which is not the answer he would have given 5 years ago.
Because I hate the second part of this last thing where
Yeah.
it says to know what's in your account for the next 20 years. I don't like my account being low constantly like it is, but it's nice to not know what's coming. So when those wins do happen and you're like, hey, this is awesome. If I knew it was going to be in my account the next 20 years, I'd be bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
I like knowing that what we do matters with our business and it impacts that, and not knowing what that's going to be in 5 years is very exciting.
But it would be really nice to know when we're actually going to be able to get a hot tub.
I don't want that much vision.
We have one of those. Y'all are welcome to go use it anytime
Great,
you want.
great. I'm stopping by
Yeah.
every night. Like, there'll be my wine down.
Down in the Kentucky house. You guys
Yeah, we
should-
got to drive down a
Yeah.
little ways, but we'll go.
Well, yeah, every night I can make it.
Like that round trip
I'll
is
just get my
doable in
pilot's
a 24-hour period.
We've done that. We have driven
We
there
have.
and back same day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Risk factor. You didn't answer yet. Only Sean answered that
Oh,
question.
Kinda.
we already did it. So, like,
Yeah.
I've already committed to the huge financial risk. Like, so.
We're in it.
I would also say the risk.
I would too, but I tend to be a very black and white kind of person, and I also like to know what's happening, what the answer to the question is, how things are going to go. So it's that weird dynamic of, I think it's wise to know what's in your account, where monies are coming from, where monies are going.
Yeah.
Like if you're not in those weeds, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being willing to step outside of those comforts to make the big decision and take the big risk, there's also a very important piece to that as well. And so, I don't know.
The unknowns are what's exciting, though.
They
Like,
are.
I know my numbers now, but I don't know them next week or tomorrow.
But it can also be very foolish. If you are that person who is just willing to take the huge risk without having the foundation. We've talked about that recently, the blend of the Dave Ramsey and the Robert Kiyosaki.
Right.
And how, you build a good foundation, you
mitigating risk,
understand.
yeah. It's mitigating risk, and then we talk about it a lot, especially with what we deal in real estate, is like exit strategies. Like somebody just was giving me a hard time at work. I was at my old job the other day visiting and talking about the Jackson deal and how I haven't paid anybody any money, but I have this property, no money in, and what I'm doing with it. And they was like, no, nothing can go wrong with that. And I'm like, dude, a lot of things go wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I got multiple exit strategies to make sure everybody's covered for that very reason.
Yep.
Because I don't know if it's going to happen. It could, but like if the bank's like, we can't loan you that, I'm kind of stuck, but I can sell it.
Yep.
So it's like it's having that mitigated risk, but I don't want to know in 20 years what I'm going to have.
I do want to say, like, it also depends on, like, comfortability of the situation. So, like, if I were doing this myself, I would much rather be ultra safe and know what's in my account for the next 20 years. With the two of us, it is much easier to take that risk because, like, we have the support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Support
when you have
is
the
huge.
foundation and you have the
Yeah.
trust, it really
Yeah.
takes or a lot of the worry out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next question.
Next question. Red Sea moment. Would you rather have a guaranteed safe deal that requires no prayer or a high risk project that forces us to get on our knees and rely 100% on God to provide?
God all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all feel
You know,
collectively
of course,
the same.
you always kind of feel like, oh, I want the comfortable thing. But when you know what we know,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
follow
We
God.
pray
the Lord.
we pray about small deals, big deals. It doesn't matter. We still pray about it. It's like I don't want it if God doesn't have it for us. And
Yeah.
I know
Just
everybody
gonna say
sitting here
that.
feels the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we started the business, you were putting all the material together and we're putting together the mission statement and everything else. And then like you were showing it to me and I'm like, God has to be the one that runs this business
Yeah.
because if he's not in it, I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I still have a boss, but I tried.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like any decision that we make, we have to run by God first. Cause
Yeah.
like if he's not in it, like
Yeah.
we're out.
It's not
Yeah.
for us.
It kind of takes the risk factor out of it. When God's at the center, it's not a risk for him.
Yeah.
Whether it's very simple or very complicated, it's not.
And then even
Yeah.
if it works or doesn't, you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was his outcome, his
Yeah.
plan anyways.
Like, I mean, it does take the risk out, but it puts a higher emphasis on like your level of trust.
Yeah.
And like
Faith.
your relationship
Yep.
with God grows because of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
true.
true.
It's a good
Exactly.
one.
Next one.
Okay. Would you rather take a highly profitable deal that feels spiritually heavy and uneasy in your gut, or pass on the money and wait 6 months for a smaller deal that feels like an answered prayer?
These are easy.
So obvious.
Yeah. Answered prayer all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
No question.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like in the moment, it would be hard
Yeah.
because like you'd be tempted to take that.
Yeah. Something that looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spiritually heavy to me feels heavy.
Yeah.
It's
like a
yeah,
gut
'cause
check.
we instantly recognize, like it's not worth the weight
Yeah.
that you end up, because the weight that you initially feel only gets heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we say you gotta have
Yeah.
you gotta have peace about it. Like we just want God to bring us a little bit of peace in that if it's His will, so we know we feel settled about it. That's how she usually responds a lot to deals that are on the table. She goes, I don't know, I just have peace about this one. I just feel like God says this, it's okay. I'm like, all right. Or she'll say she doesn't. She'd be like, I don't know. She doesn't even have a good reason,
just
but
like-
I do follow. I listen because we have passed on a deal that made sense to me. She didn't have peace about it, and we didn't buy it.
Yep.
So, because the thing is being both in the same, treating it together, because it's us. I don't want to put us in a position where I move on a deal where she's not comfortable and vice versa, so that we aren't going after each other.
Yeah.
We both agreed to this.
Right.
This is the decision, and we just buy in and move forward. But
And ultimately, like, I don't go into it thinking, like, with the expectation of, like, you have to listen to what I say. I'm just like, hey, this is how I feel. Ultimately, this is your decision, and I'll support whatever decision you make. But, like, I just want to let you know, like, this is where my heart
yeah,
is.
she'll
in it.
still trust me to pull the trigger. But she shares that
Yeah.
input, and I listen closely.
There's so much value in that.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one. Would you rather partner with a non-believer who is a genius in real estate or a strong believer who is just starting out and needs us to mentor them?
Second one, I would want to partner with those core values.
Yeah.
We've talked about on a couple episodes even. I got to be at the table with somebody that shares core values. Everything else can be learned.
Yep.
If they're ambitious, hungry, driven, but they're following Christ, that's who I want sitting across the table from me.
But what if the non-believer was, like, they had a lot of good values, they just weren't a believer?
I think you can glean information, knowledge, wisdom from somebody. I just don't, it wouldn't be a partnership. It wouldn't be a team on my team, I would get coffee with them, meet with them, spend time with them, and if they have stuff to share, and hopefully I could add value to them also.
Right.
But as far as jumping on board together and working
Yeah,
together,
being a partner with somebody.
Yeah.
that would be the line for me.
They can be a mentor in a real estate space, but not necessarily a partner.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
100% believe that.
That's how I would perceive that as well. I would much rather bring somebody. Well, this is a perfect example. You and I have partnered, and you were not as far along in your real estate career, and maybe we're still learning some of the dynamics of which you always are.
Sure.
Everybody, you're always learning something new. But I think it's an example of that I saw your core values over your level of knowledge
Correct.
in real estate.
Yeah, we talked about it one time. I'm like, I don't know why Jake decided to work with me. She's like, I don't know either. Because like you are farther along, and you have potential to really have somebody alongside you that's operating at a higher level than I am and was when we started talking. But it is good to know where that's stemming from, because that's how I feel.
That's so much more valuable to me than somebody who knows everything about the real estate space. I can go find that anywhere.
Yep.
I'll look it up on AI.
It's on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't need
Yep.
I don't need
Partnerships are different than mentorship for sure.
that. Normally I ask this next question, but Sean's going to ask it today because.
We're going to do the questions. So
Yes.
This one's at the end of every episode. We love asking this one. What would you say your spouse's superpower is?
Okay, so Jake's superpower is having the big picture view. I don't have that naturally. I struggle with that. I get into the details and thinking about all the little things. I just kind of live in that little detail world. So then he'll come up with this idea, and I'm going, how does that really work? And he can see it
Yep.
much more, clearly than I can. But I come around eventually.
I don't even notice it. I just,
Yeah.
for some reason, I can see how it's all going to play out in my head.
Yeah.
I see the end result
Right.
before we've even started, kind of, and I can just kind of like put it all into a series of steps. Like, this is going to happen, and then we need to do this, and then we can go do this. And by the end, this is what it's going to look
Correct.
like.
Yeah, and those are
I
hard.
don't know.
Those ideas are hardest to sell sometimes because there's nothing really on the front.
Yeah.
You're going, why? This doesn't really make. No, it does. Give this 5 years. This is gonna make a lot of sense. We're all gonna be laughing.
Yeah.
And but it's hard to sell those. But that's
Yeah.
cool. So
My spouse's superpower. My grandma was always the person that was the calm in the storm. Everybody called her Grandma Faye. And she was very able to not let anything rattle her. And that's Tina, without a doubt. Now, I preface that by saying internally, she lets a lot of things rattle her.
Yeah.
You know, but she doesn't really project it. She stays
good. Composed.
like composed
That's awesome.
and supportive, and it's really good. I gotta stop.
Somehow when he hit 40, he starts crying.
He's emotional. We get that way.
On to you
You
guys.
did great. You did great. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Sure. So your superpower is your ability to just throw something together and then throw it out into the world and not care. Like,
I'm very good at that.
just like, I mean, we talked about it before. Like, you can put together a dumpster fire and throw it out into the world, and everybody just like completely like bash it, and you're just like, oh, I did it.
I'll figure it out.
At
next
least I
time.
did it.
It's so true. Yeah.
I'm a walking dumpster fire, but it worked.
I will do it. It will get better.
And like,
so good.
I love his mantra of like, at least I did it. And the next time it's going to be better. And the next time it's going to be better. And like, I'm a perfectionist. I'm very detail oriented, and I struggle with analysis paralysis. And like, I remember like the first time he decided he was going to make a YouTube video, he was like, it took you like what, 10 minutes to do it?
Yeah.
And he went and edited it really quick, and he was like, put it together, I'm gonna post it. And I was like, okay, before you post that, like, you literally like, today you decided you were gonna do it and you're already gonna post it. Like, why don't you wait a day or two, watch the video, and like tweak it a little bit? It's like, too late, it's already posted.
Yeah, I think it was so funny. She was telling me, giving me that good input. And I'm like, hold on, slow down. I'm literally over on the bed listening. She's talking, and I'm like, and then she's still finishing her thought, and I'm like, it's done. Because I published it in the bedroom while she was talking to me about how we need to slow down. Work on it a little bit more.
I was so mad. I'm like, you can't just do that.
It blows her mind that you can just do the thing wrong first and kind of like, I'll get better later.
We had that very same dynamic with this podcast, right? You were like, what is taking them
like,
so
let's do
long?
this.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Busted
And
table
we're
lamp
like,
on
let's
its
just,
side.
yeah, let's pause for a second. Let's get the right equipment. Let's set it up a little bit.
Yep.
Let's make sure we understand what we're doing. And it's gone spectacularly in comparison to what we thought it would be. And we tried to do a podcast where it was just you and I at your house, with a lamp. We took the shade off.
Set her on its side.
We
pointed
used a
at it.
cell phone. Like, it was really, really bad.
It was bad.
But it's funny.
It was
And
awful.
10 years from now, we're going to look back and go, wow, like, look where we started. And then look where we've
And
come.
you got to think about the barriers that were broken by doing that awful recording we did at my house.
Yeah. Like,
That's what it is.
you have to have a balance of two.
Yes,
Because like,
there has
if
to be
we
balance.
went your way all the time, like, it would take us 10 years to get to where we are now. But like, if we went my way, we would still be waiting 10 years from now.
Yeah, there needs to be balance.
That's
That's
an
a great
incredible
point.
Yeah, that's
But you got to get the barriers down. So I knew if I got a video online and let people do whatever they were going to do and not worry about it, I was going to feel better about the next one, the next one, and the next one, get more comfortable. But that's so funny. Yeah, we just laughed about that. She was like, that's really true.
Yeah, the whole perfectionist thing really hits home. As I've been saying recently, I'm a perfectionist in recovery.
Yeah.
No, I'm
like
a recovering perfectionist.
That's so
I
good.
love
Because
that.
it used to control me a lot more than it does now.
Yeah.
I feel like I've grown in that, but it's still a little bit of that battle.
I think you have pushed me to push her, where you're like, it's okay. We'll get
Yeah.
better. And so then I go to her and I'm like, just post it.
Just get it out there.
You don't have to worry about every little
Yeah.
detail. We're not posting it because
I would-
of these little things.
I would spend 8 hours editing one episode and get to the end and go, okay, now I need to watch the whole thing again
Yeah.
so I can do my next round. And he's like, no, he's like, it's good, it's fine, just be done.
We're our own worst critic.
I think I need to start being a recovering perfectionist starting today.
It's kind of freeing. I mean, it's a little scary, but it's very freeing.
It's
I will
very
say.
freeing. It's
Yeah.
very freeing, and it's everything's figure outable.
Yep.
Yeah. You
Because
get a
I
lot
go
more
back
done.
and I get some
Yeah.
input, and I had people comment on the videos, but you know what was so great about getting the comments on the early videos? It showed me what I need to improve. I didn't know anything about posting on social media at all, but when people are like, your lighting's a little off, okay, I need to learn lighting. Or why is your sound quality not good? It sounds like what am I doing wrong with my sound? Well, look at, I needed people to tell me what are the missing parts. It was much easier to refine a system when I put the system out there for it to be criticized.
Right.
As
And
long
like,
as you're willing to listen to it.
when you're a perfectionist, you want to do all the things yourself. But like, if you're just a trash can on fire, then you welcome all of the feedback because this
bring
is
it
how
on.
I'm going to learn.
You get people put hate and they put nonsense on there. There's usually some underlying truth to what they're saying.
Yeah.
And so you got to go mind that part of it. Go like, oh man, no, he didn't need to say all that about it, but that part there, he's probably right. That probably isn't great audio or whatever it was they
Sure.
said.
Don't take yourself too seriously, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
take yourself too seriously.
Yeah. Sean, you're the one who hasn't gone yet.
So my wife's superpower is she's incredibly beautiful. So the other one I had wrote down here.
Okay. We're all just sitting here silently like, wait, there's got to be more.
For
I
her,
was soaking it in.
I've seen a lot of this, even especially in the business and stuff, and our relationship in general, but just discernment. Mm-hmm. She's got the incredible ability to just look at something that maybe I'm in and am doing okay or doing well, but could do better, and she can just go, I see this, and then she says it, and I think, and I go, oh, yeah, no, you're right. She's done it at least a couple times on big decisions. I've told the story before about one of our first business deals. I was going to do it. I was going to pull the trigger. I was excited, but it had serious foundation issues. So it was going to take time, sit for nothing, be paying for it, not be cash flowing at all. And it was just, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm ready, let's do this. This is such a good deal. And she just looks at me and she goes, is this the one you want to be your first one? And it was like the brakes were slammed on, and I was like, well, no. I just needed somebody to say that.
Yeah.
Is this the one you want to be your first? No, I want something that's decent shape, that's got somebody in it, that's running and cash flowing. But I didn't have that because I had shiny objects. So her discernment comes in on those points. And I know one time I had talked about selling a deal, and she's like, no, we keep it. I was like, yeah, that one, we probably should keep that one. We got it for a great price. So it was like we could buy it right away and sell it. And she said, we should keep it. And then I looked at the note. I'm like, no, you're right. We should keep it. So her discernment's incredible.
It's so funny because I don't feel like I have good discernment. I mean, like, it's okay, but but I don't feel like it's like a superpower for me. I'm just like, I feel like it's a quality that I have, but I don't really see it as that. Because like for me, it's just, it's in my face and it's right there. Like do you want this to be your first property? I said that. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, these are just natural questions that you ask in a situation like this. But like for him, it was like, wow, I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, why wouldn't you think about that?
Yeah. I was like, buy this thing. Let's fix it. Let's do it.
Yeah. And that's when it's the best mix, because it's not a lot of work for you.
Right.
And it helps in that situation.
Yeah, it's very intuitive for me to
Yes.
the point where I don't even recognize it as a valuable superpower.
But it is.
It
Yeah.
just creates like
Yeah,
a
it's
next
awesome.
level of clarity for you.
Yeah.
That simple question or comment is just like, oh, I hadn't even thought about it from that angle.
When she asked me that, you're almost mad at yourself for like not even. That was a dumb question, but it's like, no, that is the right question to ask, and it was a pivot for me. But that runs so much deeper than just business, because it's with helping raise the boys, my parenting. There are moments where she can just let me know in different ways, which are great. I would just run over something I've already said with the boys over and over again. I'll pivot a little bit, give a little extra input, and then I'll come right back. And I'll come right back. And we're still sitting there having the same conversation about the same thing. She's just looked at me and been like, that you're good. Move on. The boys heard you. I don't and so I don't catch it because I'm in it. So I tend to run over the same thing. And
Obviously, I'm not going to like call him out in front of the boys like, hey, like we're done.
Right.
So like we talked about it like behind the scenes, and I was like, okay, like how do you want me to like
what's our
interact
code
with
here?
you?
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
So then it just became like I would just come over and just like, hey, like it's
kind
enough,
of a
like-
nonverbal cue.
Yeah.
Hey, you're good. They got it. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, I'm doing it again, aren't I? It's just, that's why
Yeah.
I just value it
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, that kind of leads to an interesting point that I think our audience can probably gain some value from, and that is support your partner publicly and then question privately.
Yep. Yep. You have those conversations behind
Yep.
closed doors.
I think a lot of families get that wrong, or couples get that wrong in some cases, where they don't support each other publicly and their family, the rest of their family, the kids, they see that.
There's a dynamic to leadership that has to stand united. And if the kids see division in the parenting, it creates chaos in the house.
That doesn't necessarily mean that things can't get called into question publicly. We can have conversation around some subject that we don't necessarily agree on, or maybe we have different views on, or I would go this direction and maybe you would go that direction. But there is still a very important piece to that where you keep it civil for one thing, but then also support your spouse publicly, and then maybe have a conversation privately to correct anything that may have gone wrong.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
We've had that several times. Usually I'm the one making the mistake, and Tina's like, we'll talk about that later. She doesn't say that, but we do just talk about it later. And she's like, you really probably could have handled that a little bit differently. And here's what I think. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't want to hear it necessarily, but you're right. And it just works out so much better. We're not bickering and butting heads, in public or in front of our kids or whatever.
It's okay to have disagreements. You're allowed to disagree. We all disagree about things, and we should. Everybody should be comfortable having those disagreement conversations. The only problem it comes into an issue is when you're both wanting to take a stand on things in different ways, and then you're fighting over how to handle the discipline or the conversation with the kids. And then there's division on that front. Like, it doesn't have to be on the same page on everything, but that should kind of be established, agreed upon, and supported by both parents in those moments when they arise. But disagreements are healthy. Just,
I've noticed also that gap in time between supporting publicly and questioning privately creates an opportunity for you to rethink what was actually said or how it was handled. And so when you do question privately, it's almost more beneficial
100%.
because you've had time to process what actually happened, and then you can come together collectively and say, this is what we see and this is how it should have been handled. And you're like, rather than being in defense mode, you're almost like, now we have some common ground. We can agree that, okay, that part wasn't handled right, and here's what we should have done, and then it's
the
corrected
initial
later.
emotion is taken
It's a
out.
huge thing. You're not arguing emotionally. You're discussing logically, and that pause gives it time to get to that point.
That's actually a strategy for handling conflict. Like if you're dealing with someone who is emotionally charged, you're not going to be able to speak logic to them.
Right.
So like part of that strategy is let them talk through their emotions, get all the emotions out, and then once they wind down and they've said their piece, then you can come in and start speaking logic and have like an actual conversation. But if you try to do it while they're still up here and their emotions are high, it doesn't matter what you say, it's not getting through.
Yep.
For
So
sure.
true. I think we need to wrap this thing up. We have talked, and honestly, we skipped questions. We could have continued to talk for another hour or more. And that's okay.
One on two right now.
Yeah, we definitely need to wrap this up. So we are honored and thrilled to have you guys on the podcast, to have your support. And not everything that we do is wildly successful. So to have those cheerleaders in the background, even when things aren't going exactly how we hope that they would, and then also someone to celebrate with when they do go exactly as we planned.
Or better.
It's fun, and we love that we get to do life with you guys as spouses, but also friends. Let's wrap this thing up. Go find us, guys, on all of the social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and chat with us. We'd love to hear your stories about your relationships and how you handle certain things, what stage in life you're in right now. And so we'll try to interact with you as much as possible. And we look forward to more episodes that are to come with guests. And then Sean and I are going to do some more as far as the real estate side of things go.
For sure.
Stay tuned for the next one. We look forward to bringing you more content. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining us today on Courageous Stewards, where legacy meets leadership and faith fuels the journey.
If this episode stirred something in you, share it with someone who's ready to step boldly into their calling. Subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected as we continue to explore what it means to lead with conviction, serve with excellence, and build with eternity in mind.
So until next time, keep showing up, keep stewarding well, and remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's obedience in motion.